The American Sean Poynter earns his first spot on the podium here in France, with a worthy 4th place finish, a new name to watch out for on the Standout World Tour.
The life of an athlete is dedication. You know, you have to know what you need to do in order to be the best in your field. At least for myself, you know, I want to be the best, so I strategize and think ways of how I can better myself. And it's not only in competition do I look to better myself, it's just as a person, as an individual, throughout every day and days to come, to make sure that I'm improving. Maybe, you know, a longer run, or maybe a longer surf session, or a healthier choice on the menu. And yeah, so it's kind of just being conscientious about all those things that are gonna, in the end, help you out to improve your game. First and foremost, it's getting your goals set up, you know, getting them written down, knowing what you want to do and what you want to achieve, so that you have a definitive, you know, you have things that you can go check, 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 check. That'll all help you to get to that destination, you know, to achieve that goal. You know, but like for me, obviously a big goal right now is to win the world title. I grew up in Cincinnati, and I moved down to Florida when I was 10, and it was here that I saw the ocean and really surfing for the first time. And then when I kind of just got in with the ocean and started getting in the waves with my brothers, and it slowly just kind of took over. I guess it was not necessarily a specific moment in my life that said I want to be a professional surfer, but I think it was just a growing idea, especially in the early years of my surfing, that I said I want to do this. I'm gonna go be a professional surfer. People are always gonna tell you, you can't do this, can't do that, you know, it's not gonna work. That's gonna be said throughout your whole life if you're embarking on something, a dream of yours. No matter if it's being a professional athlete or being a doctor, or any profession, you can't let that affect you. You know, you have to know what you want. I mean, yeah, just know in your heart and have enough confidence in yourself to say, no, you know, I know this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to work my damnedest to achieve it. You know, if you have a passion and love for something, and chances are you can make something out of it. And if you have that mentality, then, you know, nothing's impossible. I mean, you can achieve anything. At 14, started traveling with my sponsors and stuff for competitions in California and even down like Puerto Rico, and trips to Central America and stuff like that for photo shoots and stuff. And you know, I would go to Hawaii when I was 16. I was homeschooled, so after a surf a day on Hawaii, right there on the beach at the Volcom House, I'd come back in from a surf and then have to sit down and go to school, basically, you know, while obviously all these influences are around you, but you just have to be disciplined to kind of just, you know, mute out the outside influences and get done what's needed. So yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was tough, but I think that taught me a lot. When I was 18, I mean, what was tough then was that you'd have your friends, you know, and they're saying, hey, I want to come out, come have a good time type thing. And, you know, you just kind of, I guess, being distractions a little bit, I guess, would be the difficult thing. So being disciplined enough to say, no, you know, I have a goal here, and in order to achieve that, I'm going to have to maybe say no here to this party. Or, you know, being 23 now, it is my profession, and this is what I do, and it's a job, you know, and I look at it as just that. So every day in the water, working on my equipment, working on my body, my fitness, working on my brand, you know, to just be better. Yeah, well, competition is more than physical. You know, it's a mind game, you know, for sure. I mean, competition, you have to be strong in the head. I mean, you just got to be better than your opponents, you know. Just, you know, I'm gonna win. You know, I'm gonna win. If I'm down and I'm not looking good in the eyes of others right now. I don't care. I know I can turn this around, and I know I can make it happen. I know I can be the better here. When you're down in the heat by 6 points, and you have the 2 minutes remaining type thing, you have the nerves going, and you don't see a wave on the horizon. That's where that mind comes into play, where you got to have been prepared for that. You got to have been there before in your mind, and that's where the visualization comes into play. Like, you've already been there, you've already been there. You know how this is going to pan out, and it's just, I'm just going to wait on that wave to come. I know it's going to come, and I'm going to perform, and I'm going to get that score that I need to jump into the lead or get me past this next heat or to win the event.
In the end, it is Sean Poynter who comes out on top, followed closely by the young Tahitian phenom, Poenaiki Raioha.
I think it's just preparation. So it's just preparing your mind for all possible outcomes. Mind plays into everything. I mean, your thought process to create who you are. Your thought process is what happens in your head is what chances are what's going to be happening in your life type thing. It's visualization, I guess, is what they call it. Being prepared for life, being prepared for a heat, being prepared for anything that comes your way, so you know how to deal with it. You know how to manage that when it is upon you. So preparation of the mind. That's it. That's a key. Yeah, right now I'm #1 in the world on the tour. So we're midway through the season, and we have 3 more events to go. And yeah, we're just looking to maintain that position, and at the end of the year I'll be #1 still and crown champion. The tour is basically 6 events for 2012. It started off in Oahu on the North Shore at sunset. It's a popular wave over there in Hawaii. And then it went to La Torche for the La Torche Pro in France. And then it went to Tahiti, Sapa News Pro, which just finished up about a month ago, where I got my first win actually on tour, and then which took me up to first in the ratings boards. And now we're on a little summer break before kicking back up again in Brazil in September, and then following that up in October in California, and then finishing up, I believe, in Morocco. Well, it all stems from support, and support being through my sponsors. My sponsors, my main one, Starboard, and my other FCS. So it's those guys, those companies that back me to get me to these places around the world, and to enjoy this lifestyle, and yeah, go for the dream of #1 in the world type thing. So you're responsible for everything in this life, either good or bad. It's because of your actions or something that you did or maybe did not do as a result of this outcome. I mean, that's one thing I've learned recently, well, maybe in the last couple of years, that I've got to take responsibility for this. I got to take responsibility for this life. I got to take responsibility for everything in my life, because in retrospect, it's me who's creating this. It's kind of back to that mind thing. It's that mind that creates it, but you got to be responsible. You can't point a finger at anybody but yourself. This is you. This is your life. I was starting to make some money when I was 18, on a professional deal with surfing. And then basically my company, Volcom, my big supporter, basically cut the check on me. It was like, well, this is what we're looking at for this year's contract, and it was $0 type thing. I'm there with my board in hand and no money, and the residual money coming in. It was like, well, what do I got to do? I got to make a change. I want a different result. I got to make a change, and that change was basically I got to pack up my things, and I got to move out west. Because that was where the industry is. That's where the companies were. That's where surfing was, the mecca of surfing. And as much as a kind of an unknown territory that was to me, and frightening in a way, it was something that if I wanted to achieve this dream, that I need to get over there, no matter how scary or frightening or how long of a drive that is. sometimes you just gotta go, despite what everyone thinks or what everyone says. You know, you gotta do it. So I packed up my stuff, and on the 14th of September, I drove out west, you know, with my little belongings that I had, and to try and go almost have a restart, you know, in this life of this quest of being a professional athlete. And that move was the best thing that ever happened for me. It just all started happening because I took that leap of faith. Could never think of a better thing than where I am right now because of that decision to lead to the right and go with something new, be it stand-up paddling. So I'm living my dream right now, you know? Yeah, I'm traveling the world. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.